Today's the day I call giving you what I've promised. It's a day that comes once every many moons, and it's totally not any of my work. So I promised my brother, I found my brother's essay really funny, and I've decided to make this video to kind of support his channel. I haven't seen any of his videos. I have to deal with him enough at home. But the title is actually his username, hipsterjesus42. Or it might not be. There's been some debate over that. So, I guess I'll jump right in. This is an essay he wrote. He got a B+, and I kind of found it entertaining. Well, mildly amusing. Can't really give him too much credit. So, I have to write this essay on this book I read called The Road by Cormac McCarthy. What kind of a name is that? But I get to pick one out of 6 different aspects of the book to write about. I picked the one I thought would be the easiest. How is McCarthy able to make this post-apocalyptic world of the road seem so real and terrifying? Which descriptive passages are especially vivid and visceral in their description of this blasted landscape? What do you find to be the most horrifying features of this world and the ones who inhabit it? That prompt is essentially a paragraph by itself. By the way, this essay has to be at least 500 words. I've actually never had to write an essay with a minimum word count. Never. Now, one thing I know is that an essay should have 5 paragraphs. An opening paragraph, 3 supporting paragraphs, and a closing paragraph. I noticed earlier that there are 3 questions that I am to answer in the prompt I chose, so I figure I can have this opening paragraph, have each of the questions relate to the 3 supporting paragraphs, not that they support much. When I think support, things like legs that hold us up, and things like that, but the supporting paragraphs are more like the central body of the essay. But that's not really important right now. I'm supposed to be writing about the road. Fine then. On to the first question. The first thing I'm supposed to talk about is how is McCarthy able to make the post-apocalyptic world of the road seem surreal and terrifying? Good question. There's no way I can know the universal answer. The things that make it seem real would logically be different to everyone. To a conspiracy theorist who thinks the world is going to end December 21st, 2012, which it didn't. It seems realistic because they think something like that is going to happen in a few weeks. To a level-headed person, it may seem realistic because of the details that so accurately mimic real life. I personally think the world's going to end in a few days, but not like McCarthy's apocalypse. I think there's going to be some life-shattering event that will eliminate all life form on the planet, or that the planet would be destroyed by human stupidity. McCarthy's world implies nuclear fallout, which could leave survivors, but that is entirely conceivable, which makes it seem real to me. But what do I know? I'm insane. On to the second part of the prompt. Which descriptive passages are especially vivid and visceral in their description of this blasted landscape? I'll be honest here, I don't want to go through the book to find specific passages that are especially vivid and visceral. For one thing, that sounds really boring. For another, I don't know what visceral means. Theoretically, I could just flip through the book and write down random passages that I could conceivably have found vivid in their description of the landscape. But that's cheating. But now that I've said that, you'll probably think that's how I found whatever I actually decide to write down from the book. I kind of shot myself in the foot with that. Now I could just delete that part. Why don't I? For one very simple following reason. This format of essay writing is me quite literally taking my thought process and putting it on paper, including that bit about flipping through the book to find 5 random passages to write down. Speaking of passages, I should get back on track here. I found the following passage quite vivid. Sketched upon the pile of soup downstream the outline of a burnt city like black paper scrim. Page 159. I found that quite vivid, and I could see the outline of burnt city as if it were right in front of me. Third, support paragraph. Third part of the prompt. I've just noticed I'm at nearly 700 words, well over the minimum word count. I wonder if I could just stop here. I've answered most of the prompt, and I've passed the required number of words. But I'm already over halfway done. It would be foolish to stop here. That's like running 3/4 of a marathon and then decided that you've had enough exercise for one day. When you're that close to the end, you don't just stop. So here we go. Question 3. What do you find to be the most horrifying features of this world and the survivors who inhabit it? Well, I find a lot of things about that world horrifying. People eat other people. They keep a woman around to eat the baby she produces. All the animals are gone. Barely anything that at all survived. It's all terrible. If I were in a world like that, I'd take the bullet from the revolver. The whole situation is terrible. And there you go. 3 parts of a specific writing prompt I chose are over and done with. All that's left to write is the closing paragraph. In a closing paragraph, I'm supposed to summarize the essay one more time, but that seems like a waste. Why reiterate everything I just told you? All it does is cause me to spend time writing this when I could be doing other, more important things, like watching YouTube videos about physics. And it also only wastes your time. I'm sure there are plenty of other things you could be doing, but instead you're reading this final paragraph that serves no purpose whatsoever. So with that, I'm going to end this essay and get back to listening to the Beach Boys. My brother got a B+ on that. I barely get B's, and I write better than that. I suppose it is kind of humorous. I should give you a little picture of his face or something. I mean, I guess he's funny, if you like that sort of thing. I can't say I've ever seen any of his videos, but I live with him. I'm probably reiterating a bunch of stuff, so I'm just gonna cut it here. But, bye!